Welcome back to the American Family Survival Network. I'm your host, Jeffrey Snipes, and today is October 6th, and we are looking at Hurricane Matthew. Hurricane watches, warnings from Florida to Georgia, South Carolina coast. Matthew forecast to strengthen while it batters the Bahamas. This comes to us from weather.com. This is what we're looking at right now as far as Matthew, and right here is Miami. This is Miami. This is where Matthew is right now, at a 3. Okay, so everybody in Miami, that's where we're looking at. That's how far away we are right now. And the Florida Animal Shelter is preparing for Matthew. So keep in mind our pets and those lovely pets that need to be adopted. Hurricane Matthew seen from space. It's a neat little picture. ISS flies over Hurricane Matthew. This is what it looks like flying into the eye of Hurricane Matthew. That's brought to us by the Weather Channel. And so this is the currently projected course of Matthew, as you can see. Right now she's in the Bahamas, or excuse me, he is in the Bahamas. Going through Miami, Melbourne, Jacksonville, Charleston, and then all the way up to possibly Wilmington there. Okay, so President Obama is speaking on Matthew. Maybe you saw this Matthew's creepy grin. Looks like a skull. That picture's going viral right now. Definitely creepy, huh? Okay, so these are some interesting pictures. Let's get into some more issues that you've got. South Carolina governor ordering evacuations. It's never too early to evacuate, is what they're saying. And Category 3 Hurricane Matthew is now battering the Bahamas. Hurricane watches, warnings are posted from Florida to Georgia, South Carolina coast. Matthew will likely be the first hurricane strike in South Florida since Wilma. And Matthew will then flirt with the coast of Georgia and the Carolinas this weekend. However, the threat to the Northeast has been reduced. Hurricane Matthew is expected to intensify over warm water north of Cuba, with the Bahamas and parts of Florida's Atlantic coast, the Georgia coast, and the coastal Carolinas potentially in line for a strong hurricane strike. Hurricane warnings have been extended northward from the Flagler, Volusia County line to Fernandina Beach in Florida. This includes Orlando and Jacksonville, Florida. Hurricane watches have been extended north of Fernandina Beach in Florida through Edisto Beach in South Carolina. This includes Savannah, Georgia. A hurricane warning remains in effect along the east coast of Florida, north of Golden Beach to Fernandina Beach. Lake Okeechobee is also under a hurricane warning. Tropical storm warnings are in effect from Chocoloskee to Golden Beach in Florida, for the Florida Keys from 7 Mile Bridge eastward, and for Florida Bay. A tropical storm watch has been issued for the Florida west coast from north of Chocoloskee to the Suwannee River. All interest near Florida's east coast should be finishing up necessary preparations as soon as possible. Hurricane warnings continue for the entire Bahamas chain. This is what you're looking at right now as far as Hurricane Matthew alerts. You got tropical storm watch in yellow. You have tropical storm warning in red, and you have hurricane watch in orange and hurricane warning in purple. So where are you on the map there? So make sure you know what's going on in your particular area. Hurricane Matthew is now in the central Bahamas as a re-intensifying Category 3 hurricane. Satellite imagery shows convection rewrapping around the center, and there have been lightning strikes near the eye wall, indicating an intensification is taking place. This is Hurricane Matthew as of 5 a.m. this morning. And you're looking at winds 125 miles an hour, Pressure at 944 MB. Moving northwest at 12 miles an hour. Located currently at latitude 24.2 north and longitude 77.1 west. 60 miles south-southeast of Nassau. Current storm status is that Matthew's tropical storm force wind field, at least 39 mile an hour sustained winds, extends up to 175 miles from the center, and hurricane force winds extend up to 45 miles from the center. Current wind speed and direction. This is a map that indicates the current wind speed and direction. And you're looking at the Caribbean and the Bahamas impacts. Direct impacts from Matthew have waned in Hispaniola, including Haiti. But mudslides may continue for days thanks to rain-soaked ground. And conditions in eastern Cuba are improving, though it may take some time for flash flooding to recede. Meanwhile, conditions will steadily worsen in the northern Bahamas, including Nassau. Conditions for the southern Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands will improve into early Thursday. And here's the approximate timing of the worst wind and surge impacts coinciding with the nearest passage of the eye wall of Matthew in the Bahamas. Central Bahamas through Thursday morning. Northwest Bahamas, including Nassau and Freeport, through Friday morning. And so that's what you're looking at there. And you can see that you're looking at about 145 mile an hour winds through Miami, according to this. You're looking at 130 through Melbourne, 110 north of Jacksonville, 90 when you get to Wilmington, and then going back out to sea, going down to 70 and then 60. So we got some major wind coming our way, folks. And then over a foot of rainfall from Matthew will trigger life-threatening floods and mudslides. And here are the latest storm total rainfalls amounts from the National Hurricane Center. Northwestern Haiti, eastern Cuba, 8 to 12 inches, locally up to 20 inches. The Bahamas, 8 to 12 inches, locally up to 15 inches. Central Cuba, 3 to 5 inches, locally up to 8 inches. Turks and Caicos, 2 to 5 inches, locally up to 8 inches. And on the current forecast track, here are the latest storm surge forecasts from the NHC. Above normal tide levels at high tide, the Bahamas 10 to 15 feet. North coast of Cuba, east of Camagüey, 1 to 3 feet. It's worth noting this forecast for the Bahamas is on the order of storm surge witnessed during Hurricane Joaquin almost exactly 1 year ago, only for potentially the entire chain rather than just the central and southeast Bahamas. Battering waves, this is back in, so battering waves will ride atop the storm surge, and coastal flooding from large waves may begin well in advance and ahead of Matthew's center. The storm surge will also limit rain runoff in some places, aggravating flooding, especially in coastal locations where swollen rivers cannot drain. Hurricane-force winds with peak timing, as outlined above, will lead to widespread structural damage, particularly to poor-built structures, numerous downed trees, and widespread power outages. Due to wet ground, trees will be even more susceptible to being toppled. The U.S. threat, Matthew Center will make a close enough pass to a large swath of eastern Florida to bring hurricane-force conditions at least to the Atlantic coast and possibly inland. If the center moves close enough, at least the western eye wall could bring destructive winds to at least Category 3 intensity. The reason for this is stronger high-pressure aloft persisting over the western Atlantic and east coast of the U.S., helping to trap Matthew close to the coast. So this is what you're looking at for steering of Matthew right now. And upper-level steering factors in play for Matthew later this week. Here's the approximate timing of the worst wind and surge impacts coinciding with the nearest passage of the eye wall of Matthew. Note that Matthew's eye may never make landfall, but its eye wall containing the hurricane's strongest winds may do so. Southeast Florida is through Thursday through early Friday. Northeastern Florida, Georgia coast, Friday through early Saturday. And South Carolina, Saturday and Sunday night. And hurricane-force wind probabilities, chance of sustained winds reaching or exceeding 74 miles an hour are pretty great in most of the areas here. And so basically, folks, what you're looking at here is there have been people lining up for gas in Miami. People are lining. Store shelves are empty, and we've got some major storm, major rain, wind, and surf coming our way. So get ready, and please, folks, go to the AmericanFamilySurvivalStore.com for all your family's emergency and survival needs. But if you can, get to your local store and get what you need right away. Okay? And please remember to protect and safeguard your family. Fear not, and God bless. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Stay safe.